Okay, so today I'm joined by Suzy Reily, one of San Francisco's top realtors, ranked in the top 1% with over $500 million in her career sales thus far. A Bay Area native and former Ironman woman, triathlete, Suzy brings the same tenacity and endurance that fueled her athletic career to her work in real estate. With over 21 years of experience, she's known not just for her market expertise, but her honesty, kindness, and her ability to build lifelong relationships with her clients. Beyond her career, Suzy is passionate about community, often helping developers transform neighborhoods. I've seen that. And when she's not working, you can find her running through the Presidio with her dog, 2 dogs now, Seamus and Walnut, 1 cat. Well, she won't be running with them. And she has a gecko named Pickle. So please welcome Suzy Reily. So good to see you, and thank you for being here.
Thanks, Paula.
Yeah,
It's very nice. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's all true. I mean, I've seen you working your career over the past probably 15 years now.
Yeah.
And lots of developers and lots of first home buyers, and you're an absolutely amazing realtor. You really are.
Thank you.
I want to say that out loud so that you hear me. And so, I'm not really sure how you got into real estate, but we can do a minute on that because I am always curious once we get to real estate. Let's start there.
Well, I was working in tech before I became a realtor, and I was a VP general manager for a tech company, and I just hated it. And I also had a 2-year-old at the time, and I was a single mom by then, and I just didn't like traveling and doing all this stuff and just not being with my daughter, and I didn't like the job. So I just quit one day, and I wasn't supposed, like I did. And my boss was like, "Do you just need a break? And I was like, "No, I can't do this anymore." And I was living in San Diego at the time, and I put my house on the market. I was like, "I'm going to go to San Francisco and sell real estate." I didn't tell my parents I quit my job. I didn't do anything. And I told myself, if my house sells in the first month, I'm going to do this. If it doesn't, I'll reassess. And it sold like in the first week. And that wasn't when things sold really quickly. It was 2003, I think.
Wow.
And so I moved up to the Bay Area, found a house. I bought a house from James on the Mission, a new construction. And I was just appalled by the pricing here because I was living in La Jolla, which I thought was really expensive. And then I came here and bought a house in the Mission, and I was like, wait, I lived at the beach and now I live in the Mission, but whatever. So anyway, I was like determined to become a realtor. So I just studied like a geek and just studied. My parents thought I still had a job, but I had some money from my tech career. And then I just decided I got the test, I passed the test, and then I started becoming a realtor, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was just like feet on the ground or boots on the ground or whatever. Yes, like doing open houses and just absorbing things and just kind of one foot in front of the other, and worked really hard. And that's kind of how I started.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to get some momentum? Do you remember?
It probably took like a year, but I'm always insecure. Something every single day. I think I'm like, "Am I ever gonna sell a house again?" I'm like,
I'm not sure if $50 million worth of real estate every year, but you're insecure about it.
No, I am insecure about it even now. But it probably took me a year. But I remember I got the first sale was within like 3 months. I think that I got a first. Well, that's nice. And then I always told myself I had little goals. That I was working at Zephyr for the time, which is now Forkerin, but it was Zephyr for a long time. And I just always wanted to have something in escrow at all times. Mm-hmm. So that was my goal. Like, it wasn't like a number goal. It was just like activity at first. I wanted to try and be realistic, and I wanted to make, I think I wanted to make 100,000 my first year or something. And I think I made like 150 my first year. But I worked really hard, and I had to manage it because I was a single mom. So I'd have to, someone say, "Can I see a house?" And I'd be like, "Okay, no problem." Then I'd be like, my parents lived in Los Gatos. So I was like, "Can you come up and watch Mackenzie? I'm just showing a house." And then, I show the house for 20 minutes and go home and like, whatever. But it's just like, I had to like fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, you made it, obviously. And so what kind of goals did you set for yourself? just, I mean, you said you one house, you just always had something, that's good, but were you doing open house?
Oh yeah, was it pretty or old fashioned organic? I just did open houses. I'm pretty good with just being affable and approachable. So I pretty much built my career from doing open houses. People say you can't do that anymore, but I still do that.
Yeah.
But it works for me, but I know that's kind of an old way of doing it, but it works for me. But that's how I built my career. I did it I never missed Sundays. I mean, I find an agent on a Wednesday and find out who could I do a house, and I didn't care where it was. I just did it.
And you meet buyers there at sellers.
Yeah, so I met mostly, I didn't think I had a first listing. I don't think I had a listing for 3 years.
Yeah.
I just did buyers.
And then those buyers become sellers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you get referrals. Nice. Yeah.
So-
Well, it's interesting because a little bit of a, the change up there, moving fast forward, 20 years later, you moved recently to Sonoma County, where you became, in a very, very short period of time, the top producer there, the top 10 of all of them last year, which is very impressive. But so my question would be, how did you start in a whole new county like that? All of a sudden, did you do open houses?
Yeah, I did do open houses. I met people through like my dog where my dog went. I only had one dog at the time, but where he went to dog camp, and I met a couple developers and some referrals, people referring me, or people who had friends that were moving to Sonoma from somewhere else. And it was kind of hot then. Sonoma, like, it's tapered off this year, but for the past 3 or 4 years, it's been a vacation destination. People wanted second home market there in Sonoma. And
Especially with the pandemic.
yeah, and I did open houses. I did probably 5 houses of people I'd met at open houses.
Wow.
And then so kind of
What do you do at an open house to get so many clients? I'm really curious.
I just talk to people. I'm not pushy. I just kind of talk to them and then let them come to me. But I think I'm just Irish, the gift of gab. So I just can talk to
Do you
people.
tell them? Do you walk them through the house when they?
No. I let them ask me questions, and then I will answer their questions, because I personally don't like when I'm shopping or something. I hate someone following me around or today. So I just let people. That's my way. Other people it might work, but for me, I took kind of more low key, and they usually will come to me or say, "Can I take your? Can I call you?" It's organic.
That's so fantastic. Yeah. I mean, because not everybody's good at open houses.
I have a colleague who isn't good at them, and he would say he isn't good at them at all. He goes, "I just think you're the one person I know that just picks up people at open houses."
Yeah. I mean, that's a gift, because it's not that easy to do.
Right.
I mean,
because you don't want to feel cheesy and like whatever, like a used car.
salesy.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people will tell you if they're interested.
But I confident in my skill levels. Yeah, confident was what I could offer them. So I'm not selling them. I'm just educating them or answering questions. I'm not selling myself on them. I think I have a level of confidence now that just comes with the territory.
That's great. I mean, I think that's very important. Education equals trust. I've always thought that, and that's why, I trained agents to tell them, people will trust you if you teach them and you educate them. You're not trying to sell them something. Yeah, I'm trying to help them.
Right.
Yeah, so that's nice. It's really a great gift.
And I also like my clients a lot of them end up being friends, but I can feel a sense like if they relate to me, and some people don't. So it's like I'm not it for everybody. Yeah. So it open, and sometimes I don't pick up someone, but usually I can pick up. If I do 4 open houses a month, I could pick up 2 buyers. Tipping up.
That's amazing. That's really great odds, really great numbers. And real estate's a numbers game, as you know. So speaking of numbers, been in the top 1% as long as I've known you. We're here in San Francisco, which is no small feat, because this is a very competitive city. And now top 10 in Sonoma County is very impressive. What do you do, like daily habits that in your work life? I mean, I know, and maybe it's not all about work. Maybe it's, a balance. Can you share some of that?
I think I'm very disciplined, and so, but just disciplined in my life, and maybe sometimes too disciplined. But I had worked out my whole life, so every morning I work out. It's almost like brushing my teeth. I don't feel good if I don't do that. And it just I have something accomplished, you know, and like I got that, I got an endorphin, and that keeps me on my way. So I do that. I do look at the MLS every morning in both counties now. So I look to see what inventory is. And then I'll, you know, if I see something that's interesting, I'll even call a client and say, hey, I just saw this house. I know you're not looking, but look at this. Look what your house sold for. Like, I'll touch a couple, maybe like 5 or 6 people a week, not like a ton, but just, you know, reach out to people, or just like, oh, I saw this. Isn't this, what do you think? Do you know anyone?
Like, just generate.
Yeah, just conversation.
Yeah, going back, the banter back and forth. So you do the searching for them.
Yeah, because I do love real estate. Like I do love it. Like it's I know some realtors don't love it, but I'm one that I actually really like just houses. I really like architecture. I like it. My grandfather was a realtor in San Jose.
Yeah, I read that. You come from a family of realtors.
Yeah, my great aunt was a realtor in Hillsborough, and her husband passed, and she became a realtor she was my mom's aunt. And she was really successful in Hillsborough, selling to all these doctors in Hillsborough. And it was in the 50s and 60s. And a lot of women weren't working. And she was like,
wow,
an it broker there.
Yeah. What was her name?
She was Aunt Cokie, but her name was Cora McConville.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. Well, we'll say her name out loud. Yeah, I know her. That's really great. You know, women taking real estate has been one of the industries that women can succeed. There's no ceiling.
Well, see, that's one thing. I was just thinking about that, because even her in the 50s and 60s, when you couldn't even have a credit card in your name or something, which you couldn't until the 80s. But I like that even now about myself, because is still glass ceilings in so many industries. And even in this, like even with the developer world, I have found that it was hard to get into that, because it's a man's world in San Francisco but everywhere. But just that the opportunity is everybody's here. It's not like you can work hard and a woman can do just as well as a man, and a man can do just as well as a woman. How is that working?
It is. And it's the one industry they allow us, I say, to succeed and, flourish.
And I think women are really good at it, because we have nurturing aspects. And so I just think there's it's skill level we could bring that could be good in a board group too, but they don't see that quite yet.
Yeah, some do. Yeah, we're getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. So when you have your clients, how do you match them to their dream home, for example? So you meet someone at an open house and it's not the right one for them. Then what do you do with them?
I search. I love searching. Like just like with every.
Do you do intake with them? Do you Well, now we have the buyer broker.
You'd have to do that. I still don't like that, but I do that because I know a lot of people do like it, but I don't. I feel like if someone doesn't trust me or whatever, doesn't want to do me, it's fine. We could part ways. But I haven't really had that happen much. But it's fun. It's fine to explain it and keep your value, what your value is. I think that part's good.
Yeah, I do.
But usually, a lot of people have told me exactly what they want, and they end up buying a house that's exactly not what they said.
You'll just send them things.
Yeah, because they think they only want to be in this one little area, and they're like, oh my gosh, I love this. So you kind of just listen and get a sense, and I'll send them things. I'm still active, showing them things rather than just finding things on Redfin or Zillow. I still try and find a value of like, oh, this I heard in a meeting today. We have this coming up, or Top Agent Network, if they have something. And there's various ways to show some value.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's true. I think that's very helpful, because a lot of people say they want this, and so your expertise is in listening, and then finding them something that's really along the lines of what they said, but it may not be exactly. Yeah, that's really nice. And then, so I heard you say, and I've read this too about you, you're not pushy, you're salesy. So tell me how you do your negotiations without being pushy.
Well, I sometimes might be a little pushy. I don't know. Like I might be, you're not going to get it for that. Like I'll say something like that. I'll say, listen, we can write this. I'll write it up for whatever, but you're not going to get it for that. And then maybe they have to lose one or two. In a competitive market, it's changed a little bit now. Except for the single family houses are coming back, but even the condo market's starting.
Well, there's more negotiations right now because it's more of a buyer's market. Yeah, I know. we tell people it's a buyer's market, but they believe us, they still think whatever.
Oh, when you're listing, it's different too. It's like now you're doing the other thing. They have to, it's not a.
Yeah, and you've seen different sides of both markets, so a couple of times now. So you're well versed in those.
And I think for anyone who wasn't around in 2008 and stuff like that, what you're learning now, how it's harder now, it's going to really serve you well in the future, because you got to negotiate. It's not just put something on the MLS and the highest bidder gets it. It's like I learned in 8 and 9, and I learned how to negotiate things and doing short sales and doing all this other stuff. These skills that just at least put in my pocketbook of confidence.
That's right. It's confidence, and it's also experience, so that you can pull it out when you need.
But you've also ridden a wave of up and down, and I think buyers and sellers appreciate that longevity in a career, and not when it's just all high. That how did you still survive during a lower time? That you still maintained being a realtor, because it's hard like now for a lot of people.
What's the difference between working with buyers or developers? Because you do a lot of both.
Well, developers already eat in terms of like when they want something, because they're just cash, and no contingencies and close. So they're easy to get them.
What do they want?
They want it for, it needs to make sense. They have to do their numbers and make sure the upside is there. But oftentimes they want the most disgusting one there. They're not intimidated by that. But like if it needs to be in a good neighborhood, it needs to be, basically I'd say it just needs to be neighborhood driven, or like sales, like where are people, they want to know where are people buying now and stuff like that. So, but they have to they do their numbers, like look at it. If I get it for this, it's going to take me 2 years to do it. It's going to cost me this. What can you sell it for? And that's a little bit hard, because you don't always know what the market's going to be like in 2 years, or what. So I tend to be a little bit more conservative on telling them what I think the projection will be on the future price, and hopefully I'm wrong and it's a little bit higher. So
better to be.
But they're easier. The ones that I have are usually easier, and I've already have the trust of them, so I'm not having to sell myself on. Once you've done a couple projects with them, you're part of their team.
Right. Well, that's nice. But what do you do for them during the 2-year process? Do you help them throughout the whole?
Yeah. It depends. Different ones.
Listing in the back.
Yes, I usually get the listing, and that's kind of the deal. It's like that you get the listing, so it's like a future. It's filling up your funnel if you're doing that. And I do offer them guidance if they ask. Some of them want my guidance on design and whatnot, and what to do we do this or do we do that, or what, but some of my developers also have full design teams and whatnot. So
nature.
It just depends.
So just want you to find them the deal. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. What kind of do you have a number, like what they have to return on their investment?
Usually at least $1 million.
Yeah, that's a pretty big number. Yeah, well, thank God we live in San Francisco.
Yeah. They won't do it like for 500. They
don't want to make 500 or two. So it's $500,000 a year is what they want.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Yeah. Where else can you? You can't make money like that in other places, but that's pretty good. Turnout.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah,
it's very good. Excellent. Do you sign them up for 2 years down the road, or just let it?
I'm more. I go by trust.
Yeah, and so the same. So with buyers, so back to that, so you work with them. How are they different with them working with developers?
It depends on if they're a first-time buyer or a seasoned buyer. First-time buyers take a lot more hand-holding and also trust, and then they listen more what they hear from their friends or from whatever they hear on the news, and they kind of they believe what they might hear. So they take a little bit longer to get them comfortable with pricing, interest rates, all that. That's a little bit more of a education for them. I think my seasoned buyers are, in general, it's more like finding the home they want, and they're usually pretty easy after that. Don't you find I'm writing on something now, that's mine, of course. It's different, but I just found it's easy. It's like whatever. So I think
an offer.
Yeah, but I think even if I wasn't a realtor, I'd be honest. I would be easy. I think I would be easy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've always been easy myself. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, give them the money because, I know I'm going to make money on the outside, on the back end, or
Yeah.
I'm going to live there, which is something that people forget.
Yeah.
They want to know about the investment. The investment's going to be good. You're buying a house.
So you got to build your memories there. It's like we're at home. It's like
It's a personal investment. You're going to have the enjoyment of this property. So I've lost money on property after I overpaid and they're approved. And next thing I know, I'm like, well, taking a little bit of a bath on it. But who cares? I used it for 10 years and I love every minute of it.
yeah.
Most people.
That's probably what I did to my home in Sonoma.
Yeah, well, hopefully not, but it happens. It happens,
Yeah.
and that's okay because we're fortunate that we're enjoying our life, and that's what's really more important, if you ask me.
Right. Yeah.
So tell me, do you use any kind of systems? You're a top producer.
I know, but I was really weird producer. Like
Interesting.
I'm not really good with like systems. Like I'll look and I haven't spoken to this person in a while. I'm just gonna call and ask them what schools did your kids get into, stuff like that. So I touch base. I'm very organic, touch base.
You've always been that way since the beginning.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I just kind of do what I.
So you don't need a big fancy CRM.
Well, I'm supposed to have all that, all the whatever brokers I work for. Like I have a CRM, but I'm like, okay, here it is. But I don't.
Yeah.
I think I'm too old. Like I don't get it. It's like, my daughter's more like, what? That's so easy. And I'm like,
I think it's a generational thing. I've never really been one. I have an Excel spreadsheet.
well, at least you have that. Yeah.
I had a top producer at a panel, and she was going. I'm not going to name her name, but it was all these young people in her, and she was like my vintage. And I say, oh, gosh, you're amazing. She's been, a huge producer. Everyone knows her. And I said, how do you keep it organized? And I remember her saying, okay, come here. She took me behind the curtain and she pulls out this date timer that was like this big and it was this thick. I'm not kidding. All shoved with pieces of paper. And
She knows it's in there, so
that's right. And we laughed. Yes. So don't tell those kids.
Can you even buy a day timer anymore?
Can't you buy one? I know. I have my old nice leather ones. Yeah, I like it up.
These day timers.
Yeah, they were fun. They were easy.
And it was also like the first day of school every year. You could get
Yeah, a new one, exactly, every year, I know. But the phone really does help because the calendar is right.
Yeah, that's
I tried to go back and forth, but
the phone's a great tool. It's just a little computer you have.
yeah, it's a computer. You don't even need a computer
No.
with that thing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you do mailings or keep in touch with people?
I go back and forth. Yes, I do. But I haven't had great success with mailers. I have a friend that we all know who does a lot in Miraloma, and that's his whole niche. Like he does it there and he does well there, and he's been doing it for 20 years.
Right.
I think I don't let grass grow under my feet, and I just get impatient, and then I just stuck to it, and I don't wait for the success. Like I'm not patient enough to wait for the success. So then I'm like, I don't want to go spend another $1,500 on a mailer. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not. I think I run in a really just a different way. I think I just go what works for me.
It's fascinating because I've seen, so many agents throughout my own career, and everyone's different. There are people who religiously farm, just like your friend who's had it 20 years, same neighborhood, and they get business over and over, and they, earning as much money as we are. Well, I'm more like you. I'm more, woo,
Yeah.
everything here and there, and I touch this and touch that, touch this, and then, it all makes
You're kind of,
always
and
makes
as the
this
year,
year.
you're still like, okay, well, I need money
Still,
still.
I still did a great-
my career races. I don't know what
Do you do
happened.
goal setting in the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I always have goals.
That's good. That's nice.
I did a brownie plane for that. So
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I'm just curious because, I do it too. Yeah, I didn't at the beginning, but then I learned about it, and I find that putting pen to paper, even if it's 3 things, it doesn't matter. They come true. There's some magic in that, hiding it.
I believe in it. So I'm pretty upbeat, positive person. So I say, well, like I'm pretty optimistic.
Yeah.
Maybe fatally so, I don't know. But I just believe that it will all work out.
Yeah. No, and
because I don't sit here doing nothing.
That's right.
I work,
Right.
but I
those are the ones that I'm like, well, you know, it's not going to work if you have just go get out there.
and do the basics too. Like I also, because I'm good, want to start working again more in the city, and so I've been like touring and stuff, like just doing the basics. I'm back, you know, like because your colleagues are really an important part of your career.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So-
I'm sure everybody's happy to see you back too.
It's been nice,
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth with, 30
It's the same thing.
It's just, it's lovely, because you build these relationships.
But don't you like the groups in San Francisco? Like it's just how's that family? It's like it's the realtors are different than other places.
Yeah, it's different. I mean,
They don't mind that nothing better or worse, but for me,
That's
it's,
right. It's just coming home for you.
yes, that's what I think.
Because you were a new kid in the block up there and you showed them something, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Well, I won't say that. So let's move. Last question. Okay, then we'll wrap because but this has been so great. So, do you have support? That's my question. Because I've always known you to be a lone wolf.
Yes, I am, and that's why I was probably a triathlete. Because
Yeah.
no, I have a TC, and I don't really have support. Yeah, I don't want to do my TC work, but I don't. I've had assistants. I've always had a TC.
Yeah.
I've had assistants, and then I think I'm too much of a control freak, and I'm not a good teacher. So,
I see.
so I don't set them up right. I set them up for failure because they don't. I don't see how
Hard to manage people. Yeah. And be
I did
responsible.
well in my career before managing people, but it wasn't my money. But I was better at that. But for myself, I kind of am more controlling about things, and I'm like, why didn't they do that yet? Yeah. I'll just do it.
Because you can get it done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they got to wait until tomorrow to do it.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I need it now. And I might not have communicated that.
So, yeah.
I-
So does your TC do like a little bit of assistant work for you, or is it simply?
I have her do I have her do some assistant work. Yeah, I have
That is nice.
Talkie sign stuff. And
Yeah, if it's an emergency, they can.
yeah, right. They could write a contract for me and send it to me for DocuSign stuff like that. Yeah, no, that I could just make a phone call. She's paid well, so she does.
Right.
She does more than a basic TC, I suppose.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I always think, you pay people well and they'll take good care of you. So, this idea of being cheap doesn't work.
No, and I also wouldn't want to do the TC work because I'm just that's stuff I don't like.
No, yeah. Well, because you're a great saleswoman.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're good at, finding the opportunity.
It sounds like I don't want to do that.
So you do it, and you know how.
I know how. I just don't want to do
But you don't need to do
Yeah.
that. Well, this has just been great. I'm so glad
Paula.
that you were willing to sit down with us and share all this with us.
Well, I love Backyard. This is home too.
It is
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
It is home. We love you here. You're welcome back anytime, of course. But thank you so much for coming in today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzy.